There it is. We're getting insider information at the same time. It is a very special anniversary for Coronation Street and some fans here in Vancouver. And I use that term very seriously because if you love Coronation Street, you love it, are having a ping in Vancouver.
That's right. And Robert Lawrenson is joining us now to tell us all about it and how you can get some great grub. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So
Nice
that's
to see you.
the new opening credits there. And you were saying that the tram doesn't exist. You just like,
I'm afraid not. It's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
It's like TV's not real anymore.
Who'd have thunk, eh? You know, the tram kind of does go past, but it's not on that. But they've done some clever.
This is the thing with Coronation Street. I mean, it's been around for long enough now that people really, it's like life now for a lot of people, for a lot of fans.
Absolutely, and it seems more so here in Canada than in England. I mean, it's hence these sort of gatherings, these pings that we were.
We should probably explain the ping and what it is and where people can go. What is it?
Well, it's called a ping, bizarrely enough, because somebody invited someone else out for a pint. To chat about Coronation Street and just did a typo. So
they dropped the T, add in a G, and all of a sudden the fans have a ping.
So now this is the fan conventions of pings.
And there's a ping. Joe Leary from TV Week Online. I did an interview with him a few weeks ago, and
he loves Corey.
He does. He's mad for it, and he's set up this ping in Vancouver at the King's Head pub on Saturday the 5th. 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock.
So I see that you can get some of the food that you're familiar with. No vegetables. Straight from home.
There's beans, though. What are you talking about?
Vegetables.
What do you mean no vegetables? Look at the beans.
And we've got coleslaw. Come on, you're being
the salad, people. This is the salad. Okay, tell us what on earth is this?
It looks really bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash.
The real deal, too.
That right there is part of my childhood. That's what that is.
Absolutely.
Does it taste like home to you when you get to go somewhere like the King's Head?
I am very much looking. They're going to do Betty's Hot Pot on Saturday, I believe.
What is Betty's Hot Pot?
Well, Betty, who works in the Rovers Return, her speciality dish is the hot pot. You're laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I just love it.
It's a lovely beef, and it's got vegetables in. It's got carrots and peas, just a few, 1 or 2, you know, and gravy covered in pastry, and more gravy on top.
So it's a healthy dish.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When you're having vegetables, you need gravy and pastry.
Yeah, you've got to mask it, haven't you?
What is it like for you when you meet the fans of Coronation Street? Do they ask you a ton of questions? Like,
yeah, I mean, when I worked on the show, it's one of those places that when you go in and work, there's always people stood at the gate waiting at any time, morning, noon or night. And when you come out, there's still people waiting. It's massively revered show.
Is it part of a, almost a rite of passage for a young man acting in England to do a little time on Corey?
Yeah. Well, you find people who do the rounds of the soaps as the Emmerdale and the Coronation Street. And
here's some of your fine investigative work.
Tell us about who you played on Coronation Street.
I played PC Glaister, so I recurred on the show over about a 4 or 5 year period. Did a bunch of episodes.
How many crimes did you solve?
Not a great deal. I was always there. I was punctual. That's what I was. I was a punctual PC. Yeah. And maybe I was too busy looking at the bangers and mash in the pub.
And what are we at here? Just a little.
You see, the thing about all the dishes they're serving, which is very traditional British pub fare, is everything's laced with beer. We've got beer battered fish and chips. We've got beer in the gravy, and the Betty's Hot Pot. That's just basically don't put water in, put beer in. So it's kind of it's just a vehicle for more beer. Really, that's the show.
Do you have to keep up with it? I mean, when you're going to a ping, do you keep up with the show? I mean, do you sort of watch it all the time, or do you have to brush up before you go to a ping?
Well, I am going to have to brush up. I've been very busy with working on a few other things, but it's the sort of thing that if I see it, I won't turn it over. I'll sit down and I'll catch up on.
Speaking of some of your other projects, your voice might seem familiar to people who've been watching Village on a Diet.
Yes.
Ironically, we have this food here.
You don't want to be eating this kind of thing if you are on a diet.
Oh, but this is lovely.
But when we saw a couple episodes of the show, your voice, just because you have the accent, you've got authority, you've got legitimacy.
Judgmental is what you're doing.
I didn't want to say.
No,
I do. Over 3 tons overweight.
But do you feel obligated complicated to eat healthfully when you are narrating a show like that?
Well, do you know what? It really has had. I mean, it's had an amazing effect in Taylor, BC, where the whole thing was shot. And I was chatting to Glenn, who's the town taskmaster for people who've seen the show, and he said there really is a tangible change in the town, and it's been the same in the production company here at Force 4 Productions. Everyone on the show, it really has kind of rubbed off and made
it clean up a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah, you know.
It must be fascinating. I mean, just to, you know, we've seen a couple of episodes and seen what's aired, but to know what happens throughout the whole series as well, and to get some
very
inspiration
positive and
from that.
inspiring.
So incredible. We have to talk about Sanctuary a little bit as well, where you've been recurring for what, a couple of years now on that.
Yeah.
What's going on with Declan?
Well, I'll be back in a couple of the episodes, and we're on hiatus at the moment. I'm not sure of the air date, but I think it's kind of April, May. This series comes back for the second half of season 3.
Still in London, running the Sanctuary?
Absolutely. Well, I'm actually over on hiatus doing, or what would you call it? Well, I'm over on holiday, maybe.
A sojourn.
Right, just take a little break from sanctuary.
Busman's holiday, we would say.
And you also just worked on, a lot of people have spotted Jorge Garcia from Lost around Vancouver. They're shooting a pilot called Alcatraz.
Yeah, this is the new J.J. Abrams
Tell
show,
us everything about it. I know J.J. Abrams loves that.
I won't tell you everything about it because everything I've read has got confidential stamped all over it, sort of thing. But it's, I had a small role. I was shooting with Sam Neill the other day. I picked up the script and I couldn't put it down.
Great.
It looks like it's going to be a great show.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's playing about with timelines, in a similar way to Lost. You know, there's lots of options for backstory for the characters that are going to be introduced.
Same as Coronation Street. Same idea.
And Coronation Street has a calendar with heaps of nudity in it.
It does have quite a bit of nudity. Do people come to the Ping and they can ask questions, or they just group together and
sure.
gab?
I mean, they're throwing on Granville Island Brewing are putting on the first pint for free for everyone. So, you know, what other reason you need to turn up?
And they're putting a lot of beer in the food.
And they're also lacing all the food with beer as well.
Good stuff.
They've got a special on all the food. There's some great, it's all traditional British pub fare on the Saturday.
Getting hungry.
And there's going to be prizes and some trivia games, and there's signed beer mats and calendars and all sorts of things.
Well, thank you so much. If you want to check it out, the Ping is hosted by Joe Leary. It's going to be happening Saturday, Feb 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. That's at the King's Head, right in Kitsilano on U Street. If you want to check it out, you can get some great food. We're going to take